How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? 700 pounds? Pokemon games have a vast range of creatures that can control time and space and tear through the fabric of reality, and that a 10-year-old should not be in control of. But all of that aside, Pokemon are used for more than just battling. Some routes have environmental obstacles that require Pokemon to have specific moves, normally learned from HMs. And everyone's favorite HM Pokemon is none other than God himself. But this is not an ordinary Bidoof. To satisfy the appetite of an immortal, omnipotent being, I must supply him with his desires of many trees and a lot of fucking wood. So how many trees can one Bidoof consume? 24. This Bidoof can eat 24 trees. 1 on Route 204, 4 in Eterna City, 1 on Route 209, 5 on 212, 3 on 215, 1 on 222, 4 in Eterna Forest interior, and 5 on the exterior. But 24 trees isn't that much, and it is certainly not enough to satisfy the appetite of God himself, which means we must look further. But what does that mean, you might ask yourself? He isn't really gonna eat the entire Sinnoh region, is he? These trees, you can't interact with them. They're just there for decoration, right? He wouldn't actually sit there and count every tree on every route just to make sure that this Bidoof can hypothetically eat these trees? No, he wouldn't do that, would he? It took me so long. Oh my god. I don't know why I did this. Okay, but complaining aside, how many trees do you really think are in the Sinnoh region? Cause like, when you play the game, you don't even see half of these trees. Like, look at this whole box. No one is ever looking at these trees ever. And look at this route, bro. They're so spread apart, I can't even count them. But after all the routes and all the counting, I came up with a grand total of 15,705 trees, with almost 1,600 trees coming from Eterna Forest. Which means if Jeffrey, my Bidoof, eats all the trees in Sinnoh, he will consume a grand total of 15,000. Hey Hedgehog, who's your favorite Pokemon? I don't know, probably like Dragonite? Okay, and what's your favorite starter? That's my boy Turtwig. And what is a Turtwig? I guess he's like a tree turtle. Tree turtle. He got a tree on his back.
Damn, I messed up. We gotta go bald, fam.
Oh, shit.
I'ma be honest, I don't know how many wild Torterra there are, but I know I own a Torterra, and this random dude on Victory Road owns a Torterra. So there's at least 2. And I don't know about the wild ones, but let's just say there's like 115 wild Torterra.
Oh, shit.
They're dead. Every single one of them. And not just the men, but the women. And the children, too.
So after my Bidoof's bloody rampage, after all the cuttable trees, the non-cuttable trees, and all of the Torterra, he will have consumed 15,834 trees. Plus all the pseudo-wudo, but they're not really made of wood, so they don't really count. And you see, this number is nice and all, but there's just one issue. We're working in units of trees, not wood, and we need to make it wood. So buckle in, kids, because class is in session. I'm about to teach you that 9th grade math real quick. So first you get your trees and your tree types. You get the cuttable trees, non-cuttable trees, and Torterra trees. You find their height and radius. I found the average radius and then increased it a little bit to account for all the branches. So we just assume the tree is one tall cylinder. To eventually plug that into a volume formula. After you find the volume, you split them up into finding their spruce and oak densities. And once you find that, you add it into a mass formula to eventually get a grand total of 322,889,205 kilograms of pure wood. Which gives us the final answer to the question of how much would a woodchuck chuck if a... To how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Which is over 300 million kilograms of wood. You see, this is a good number and all, but you forgot one thing. A god like me is not confined to just one video game. I must conquer the realms. I need to devour all the trees. I summon myself into this world to eat all of your trees.
And then what?
I finally rest and watch the sunrise on a grateful universe.
Well, I guess we have to get started somewhere then.
Bidoof, use cut.
I know, right? Like, give me at least 40, 50, just to